Mr. Speaker, sir, essentially we have an opposition team coming up and telling us that we really can't give information because the public will get depressed because they don't know that corruption exists. Now, I have 3 rebuttals before I start my extension today. My extension today is essentially, I'm going to be analysing the Asian context, the Malaysian context that we are in, and analysing how televising the trials of public officials will increase the deterrence factor. And we think that ultimately, that's the end goal that we want, in which we want to lessen the chances of people being corrupt. Now on this idea, on the 3 rebuttals that I have, firstly, this idea of the information, how we need, firstly we've been proposing that we need more information on side government. They've essentially come up here and said that the reason why we can't give up more information is because we're going to infringe on the politicians' right to privacy. And therefore we should try and protect their rights as far as possible. I have a few responses to that. Firstly, they are public officials in the first place. They take office knowing that they are going to have their privacy infringed upon. They are going to be reported on by tabloids, by newspapers, and we don't think that they should have realized that in the first place. Secondly, they are criminals. Criminals, when in a situation where you breach, when you commit a crime, we think that you realize that, rights are taken away from you. But the right of privacy is never absolute, especially in a situation where the courts are open, people can go in and watch the trial anyway. They've never shown us otherwise. Furthermore, even if people can't go in and watch the trial, the media can always dig up dirt, and they're quite capable of doing that under status quo already. They've never shown us how it's different. Lastly, this idea. We think that the lack of privacy and the idea of protecting the reputation is exactly something we want to avoid. We don't want to simply say we want to protect your reputation as corrupt officials and say, in the end, because you're far more important to us than the democratic values of accountability and transparency. What we ultimately think is that the idea of a trial and televising a trial means that greater deterrence is necessary because we air dirty laundry, because we show what actually happened. And we think that yes, it will infringe on the fact that you have private dealings with other corrupt officials, but we think that ultimately it's important in this situation that you don't necessarily just respect and protect their reputation, but it's something that's important. But you disagree, Ashok.
Man, but they concede that the public knows enough. They know who's on trial, they know what the court says, they know the evidence against him. What is the increased value your side is asking for from your policy?
Firstly, the fact that you get the whole trial. Secondly, you get it unedited, unsanitized. And lastly, the idea of the fact that these people are going to be seen, and because all of the information is out, their reputation is on the line far more than if there were just a name or outdated mugshot on the newspaper. Now, secondly, this idea of the effect on the public. Essentially, Tasneem came out and said, we are going to depress the public because somehow they don't know about corruption, and showing them the truth will further depress them. We think that the public, well, we hope at least the Malaysian public knows that corruption exists, and if the newspapers are effective as they claim they are, then the Malaysian public should already know. We don't think they're going to get any more depressed. If anything, we think that if they don't know, we should be showing them in the first place, and we think televising these trials increases the fact that not everybody reads newspapers, but most people have televisions and most people like to watch a bit of drama. And ultimately, we don't think it's a bad thing if it reaches more people and increases accountability. Lastly, on this idea that the opinions will sway judges, public opinions, and therefore judges will somehow be swayed. Firstly, we think that under their paradigm, it works the same way. The name of the judge is revealed in the media. The media has ways of finding out even if it's not put out. Let's put it this way. It's everything with regards to politics is as leaky as a sieve. Let's not pretend that we can somehow keep all this information under wraps, because even if the White House can't do it, I can't imagine that somehow the Malaysian government is even more effective than the White House. Now, secondly, this idea, their implication is that the judges that they have in Malaysia are not qualified, are not able to make decisions impartially. The implication in this situation is somehow they will be swayed by public opinion, and therefore they are not qualified. We hope, certainly, that the ones that are trying public officials for corruption are sufficiently qualified and have gone through enough training to know that they have to base their decision on facts. They have not shown us the link, because necessarily, just because you put it on television, that the judges will necessarily be swayed. We have not seen any link there. But let me go on to my extension. Thank you, Madam. This idea of a greater deterrence because of the contextualization and the fact that this is in Asia itself. And we think that in this case, we've actually done what Prabha wasn't really expecting us to do in the first place. Now, essentially, when we are in the Asian culture, something that's fundamental to the Asian identity is the idea of saving face or having a reputation. And therefore, people don't want their reputation to be sullied. We see this in situations, for example, when people commit suicide, or they rather go to loan sharks charging exorbitant interest rates, for example, when they lose their jobs, rather than going to their family for help. They rather keep it under wraps, at the expense perhaps of their sanity, or at the expense of having to pay even more interest rates because they don't want people to find out that they are bankrupt. We see in this kind of situation that it's inherent somehow. Don't ask me why, but it's inherent, seems to be hardwired, that we have this obsession with saving face. Now, it may be a good thing, therefore, that in this context, we need to understand that, therefore, televisation increases this chance. Because what we see now is under televisation, see all the info first. We put the entire procedure and how they actually did it. And this may, yes, will shock the public. And precisely, it will increase the situation where now you're seen as, having actually betrayed the public's trust. Now, because the public can make their own decision without having to look through a sanitized and edited version of what actually happened in the court. We essentially see that corruption takes place because corruption is seen as a high reward, low risk activity. You are essentially, because all you end up doing is paying a fine. Maybe you can even go back to your job at the end of the day because maybe you have political connections. What we think ultimately is now you have a situation where your reputation is sullied, people can put a face to your name. We think ultimately there will be increased exposure of who you are, what you've done. We think in the end it adds a greater deterrence because family members will not want to be associated with you. We think also you want to continue to be able to have a job. We think that ultimately the idea of televisation of a trial essentially means that we can eradicate corruption. We think that's a far greater end that we want rather than just simply public accountability, though that is important too. And for that reason, I'm very proud to propose.